How to create the very first characters of a TCG? Let's find out after the intro. Just kidding, there's no intro yet. I promise I will make one day. So, over the last episode, we covered the resource part of the world building and lore of this TCG. We stated how many resources exist, their names, their name actually as a Nekthar as a whole, the origin story, etc. And I promised on the last video that on this one, the part 2 of the lore and world building video of this TCG, I would create the very first characters, one for each of the resources, to start demonstrating what is the properties of each resource, what happens if one creature gets addicted to one of them, and the kind of play style that will come from there. So, without further ado, let's start!
First of all, before getting into the characters, I needed to know exactly what kind of vibe each character should have according to the Nekthar they're addicted to. So I tried to describe just in 3 words what is the style, what is the properties of each resource, also known as Nekthar. So the Henpa, I define it, I see it as a chill, wise, unapologetic kind of behavior. Licorine will make you risky, resilient, and confident. The Brown will make you psychic, mystic, and magical. The Crotane will just make you very strong and brute and kind of dumb a bit. Sangre will make you aggressive, resistant, and evil. Jukes will make you fast, energetic, and friendly. And Opukes, shady, violent, and nihilistic. Of course, each of these will be very balanced because this is a game. Each of them has to work kind of the same way, has the same powers. But these are the properties on the lore part of the story, the world building, and also the play style of each deck. So I want the first characters of my TCG to fit this list. That is very important at this point for me. So I want the first characters to set the tone of the game. I mean, to show us a bit of this world of Q-Boss that is being still built, because after those characters, the next ones will be pretty much based on the tone, on the style, on the, everything will be based on the first character. So it's very important to start strong with very strong characters and very charismatic as well. I want them to be lore rich because they have to fit in this world of Q-Boss. I want them to have a story, a nice story, a relatable story, a story that will make you feel empathetic with these guys. I want them to be recognizable, like, any franchise, anything, any brand, whatever. They have their mascots or logos or font types. I want these characters to be recognizable as bringing you into the world of Q-Boss straight away. So I want to fall in love with them at first sight. I want them to also reveal the properties of each Nekthar they're addicted to. It's also very important to start showing what the Nekthars do to different kinds of guys, little guys, the influence that will make them change somehow and have their own aspects and appearance, etc. So I want them as well to be relevant but not OP, so probably pretty much like these 2 cards already existing from the green deck and the pink deck. This is the shark, this is the bear. They don't matter anymore because we are creating characters to replace this name and illustration, but basically to have like 9 or 10 HP and this kind of strength of attack as well.
So instead of creating 7 different characters, 1 per faction, 1 per Nekthar type, I found it would be interesting to just have the same kind of guy and show how he evolved while exposed to the different kind of Nekthars, because this brings much more of the lore of the game into the reality, into the visual look of this world. And now we can see that how the same creature just changed by being exposed to different Nekthar types. So I created this creature looking like a rabbit, a dog, marsupial, whatever, some kind of cute features to be relatable, to be lovable, to be recognizable, and to be unforgettable as well. So here are the first sketches that came to life from each of the factions. And I found that the backstory of this guy to explain why there are 7 guys of 7 different factions of 7 different Nekthar types. I found that the lore would be interesting to be dark and, you know, to make you feel pity for these little guys, because that's what authors like to do, you know, just create nice characters and then destroy their lives and play with their feelings, etc. So the backstory of this guy is basically this. There was a scientist one time that decided to conduct some experiment to investigate how the Nekthars affect the development of creatures in this world of Cubos. So he took the 7 siblings of this species called Sivenling, that comes from 7 and siblings together, huh? A nice play of words. Sivenlings. Yes, he took 7 baby Sivenlings and exposed them to the different kinds of 7 Nekthars to, you know, just make some teases, to conduct the experiments, to come to some conclusions of how the Nekthars affect creatures if they are exposed since early birth to them. So basically he took this Sivenling, which is a creature that always comes in 7, you know, whenever they are born they have 6 siblings. That's the story. I know it's not very interesting, but okay, so they are always 7, that's the point. And each of these characters is named using basically the phonetic alphabet, but with a twist for the lore richness of this world. So we have Alfie, Betra, Charin, Deltor, Echo, Foxra, and Gorl. What do you think? So here we have the Sivenling for Sangre, here Henpa, Crotane, Opiux, Jux, Brown, and Licorine. Those are the very first characters of this story, of this TCG. Which one is your favorite? I have one, I just cannot tell because a father doesn't say who is their favorite child, right? No, my favorite is this, okay? He's my favorite. He's the best looking one. I also liked Hempa one. What do you think? What is your favorite? This concludes the video of today of lore and world building. Next video we will cover something like, I don't even know yet, but we'll cover something. We'll see you next week.